Yo, welcome back to my platforms. My name is Anati. It's been a minute before we talk about football again. So today we had so many matches, Champions League qualifiers. Wase wenye walikuwa wamemaliza below top 8, so walikuwa wanacheza again ndo tupate other 8 teams zenye zitakutana na hizo 8 teams zenye zilikuwa zisha qualify already, right? So the game that kicked off mapema ilikuwa game ya Galatasaray na Juventus. Galatasaray annihilated. Galatasaray killed Juventus, man. 5-2. But that was after they got red carded. That's when things got haywire on Juventus. But this season, Juventus are not really juvenated, are not really like they are not to their standards. Yeah, I've seen Juventus play back in the day, and I can tell you for a fact they just don't have the quality right now that would surprise the world like they used to do hapo nyuma. Like Juventus was a menace. To go and meet Juventus in Turin, or they are coming in your backyard, they will give you a run for your money. But nowadays, I see them being beaten around by teams like Bologna. And you wonder what's not happening. But hopefully they can rejuvenate back and do a remontada. Like, it's hard for them. I don't see. I'm talking to you right now, but I don't see a comeback. I don't really see a comeback when Juventus meet Galatasaray again in Turin in a week's time. I don't see a comeback. It's over. It's over, man. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. Maybe they can win 2-0, 3-0. That can change, maybe. But the Galatasaray team is so compacted because they went for the rejects. People that every team was offloading. Man City. I've seen like literally people who have played in Europe big teams and they are now there. The likes of Leroy Sane, the likes of Gundogan, you see in the goal they have Ederson. I see Sanchez. Yeah. So it's just not a team that is weak. It's gonna be tough for Juventus, and I think they're out of the tie. But you don't write them off until it's done completely, right? Then another game that caught my attention that I was watching was Real Madrid versus Benfica. First half, Benfica didn't know nothing. Yeah, they were calmed down, they were pressed, they were like they seated in, they soaked in pressure, and they accepted anything to happen on them. They were run over. So they were just begging for first half to go to get finished. They get at least to get some water and push back or sit and continue doing what they were doing. Yeah. So in the 50th minute, Vinicius scores a banger, and then he goes on the flag post to celebrate, which for me, I don't see a problem of him going to celebrate in that manner because he hasn't violated anything. But think of it. Is there any rules in the football fraternity or on the football stage that you are not supposed to celebrate in this manner but celebrate in this manner? Apart from if you are trying to maybe influence a war, or you are trying to make it look like you're supporting a certain movement. That's the only thing or the only way you can say he was violating some rules. But for a mere dance, then you yellow card him, then from that moment, it creates a lot of mayhem and fracas until a Benfica player goes on, we don't know. But Vinicius says, because he runs to the referee to go and report the player, because he pulls off his shirt, he covers his mouth, he says something that I think is racist enough or is racist. And then Vinicius runs to the referee and he sees, he calls off Madrid players and he says, I'm not going to continue with this one because this guy has done this. But the only thing I can say about racism in football is they just don't want to stop it. Listen, everybody has his own opinion, and this is my opinion. They just don't want to stop it. Because I'll give you this example. If someone makes a mistake of killing another person, he's taken to court and is put behind bars for the rest of his life. And if we are here saying that racism is not a good thing to happen in football, then we have to stand all over it, right? We have to put some precautions and rules, and we have to regulate them. We have to use them. If someone violates another person, he racially abuses them, the only thing that should be done is you have to, if there is an evidence this guy did what he is being said by the sole player that he did, then you have to make a tribunal that has to stand on investigation. And when they come up with the investigations and they call the player, the only thing that we need to hear as fans is you banned the player completely from football. But you cannot do that because you know it's a business and you want this thing done to these players so that you show you are the strongest people or you've got the influence. So you influence everything. But the only thing that can be done to stop this thing is if someone has done it, then completely ban him out of football. Why ban fans and you leave the players who castigate it? Because fans are being banned from getting into the stadium when they racially abuse the players or when they do the racist chants. Yeah, they'll be completely blocked from entering any stadium in Europe. But when a player does, maybe he gets 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 games ban, then he comes back to play. That one you can't stop it. It won't stop. So I leave it at that. That's my own opinion. And then another game that was being played was PSG versus Monaco. Monaco goes on to score 2 goals in the early stages of the game. And I'm like, yo, PSG is literally eaten over, bro. PSG is done. Because the PSG we knew last season, the first goal was for them, not for the other team. But they have been hammered too. So they have to come from a goal down, from 2 goals down, and then Desire Doué takes it into his hands, and he says, no, not today, Monaco, not today. So he salvages them, and they win 2-3. Wameshinda game 2-3. Then another game that was being played was Dortmund versus Atalanta. That one I expected it. Dortmund are way too good for Atalanta. They are way too good. So they have an advantage of 2-0 going into the second leg. Then again, Monaco will be visiting Parc des Princes. So I know they're going to be knocked out. That one, they are going home. Monaco will go home. Atlanta will do the same. They'll go home. And then who else? The only tie that's still on, is Benfica versus Madrid. That one is going to be a tough one for Madrid. Although they have an advantage of 1-0, but it's going to be a tough one. Yeah, at Santiago Bernabeu, it's gonna be a tough one. So let's wait and see, because football has so many surprises that we can't keep on guessing. So thank you so much for watching. That's my opinion, and see you on to the next.